MPs are set to hold key votes next week on the terms of Brexit, the outcome of which could determine whether the UK has greater flexibility to set its own trade tariffs. A second meaningful vote on the Brexit agreement negotiated by Prime Minister Theresa May is due to take place on Tuesday. However, if no agreement can be reached, and the UK ultimately leaves the European Union on 29 March with no deal in place, reports last week suggested the UK government might cut trade tariffs on between 80% and 90% of goods, with some tariffs being scrapped completely. Business Secretary Greg Clark told the BBC that new tariff schedules would be published only after next week's vote on Mrs May's Brexit agreement, if it became clear the UK would be leaving the EU without a deal. He said the changes would have big implications for some sectors. A tariff is a tax applied only to internationally traded goods. In the great majority of cases, tariffs are applied to imported goods by the country importing them. But there can also be tariffs on exported goods. Import tariffs give a competitive advantage to local industry because it is not subject to the tariffs. They also provide revenue for governments, although compared with other types of tax the contribution is relatively small in rich countries. Tariff revenue collected by the UK was about £3 billion in 2017. Under a no-deal Brexit it could be less if tariffs are eliminated widely enough, or more, because remaining tariffs would be applied to EU goods that are currently tariff-free. In one word, Brexit. As a member of the EU, the UK currently applies the EU's common customs tariff to goods imported from outside the EU, with exemptions for goods from countries with which the EU has a free trade agreement.